Hello, everyone's. I am here for my review of Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 10, The Reunion, Part 3. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I am Lady T. I like to do reviews on scripted shows, reality shows, and also the reactions. If you're returning, one of my peoples, welcome back. Monique has let us know that Chris sent her a cease and desist, and she's showing these receipts that we can neither see or neither hear. Now, I heard that it was a recording of her daughter letting her know that Stacy told Chris that Monique allowed her children to film. Now that would indicate that Stacy was around Monique's children, which this is something you should be asking Chris about, wouldn't you think? Then another thing, Monique, this cease and desist may not necessarily have anything to do with Stacy, because you got on here saying how things were messed up in your relationship. You have gone on to say what happened in your relationship, that what made you further want to leave this relationship. So you were talking about Chris. You hopped on here saying all the things that you weren't happy about and how the things that you went through. You said these words, but now it seems like you're trying to grab and put this on Stacy. Now, the fact that Stacy lies a lot does not really help her credibility here. But when it comes to lies, it's like lies about her that don't really hurt anybody. It's a lie nonetheless. Now, I've said this before. It's not that, like, I forgive Stacy on her lies. It's just that the lies she tells does not present any harm to anybody else. And I'm going to get on that to a little bit later. Stacy, she denies any of this. And they're asking Wendy, Andy's asking Wendy what is her opinion. She was like, it's like a lot of stuff piling up and it's not really looking good for Stacy per se. But I'm like, we can also look at Cookie. How many times was it that the ladies just happen to be around Cookie and then Chris just happens to call? Or Chris just happens to text every time Cookie would be around these ladies. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't Cookie, Giselle, and Ashley then came together to cook the books to try to point things on Stacy, because Stacy has become a fan favorite. We're not going to forget that Giselle has never seen it from Monique. And probably has held a grudge against Monique. And the fact that, like, Monique is so quick to think it was Stacy, and again, Stacy has been proven to be a liar. I understand that. But we're not going to act like Giselle and Ashley have not lied about things in the past. They have also gone against you. Ashley told anybody who would sit still that Monique was an alcoholic, and this is maybe the reason why she was in an accident, and maybe why she insinuated that's how come Monique lost her baby. Giselle has not liked Monique since she came on here and saying that she has, 4 degrees. Remember, not 4 degrees, but 4 houses. Let's not forget how Giselle was so fearful of Monique, because Monique in that incident with her and Monique and Candace. So we're not going to act like Giselle and Ashley don't have a grudge against Monique, and also can be like, oh goodness, Stacey, she is a fan favorite. What can we do to use Monique to pinpoint things on Stacey? Now, for all we know, Stacy may have said these things, but she's like, what would I gain out of it? And if you ask me, it seemed like Cookie would have more to gain, because Cookie in the past has, like, done some messed up things, and Monique has agreed and confirmed that Cookie has done some messed up things. But since Stacy is always lying, they're going to pin that on her. And this is what I'm going to tell Stacy. When they bring up you lying on things, you should have just been like, well, I thought that was the name of the game. Isn't that what we all do on here? Ashley, have you not lied about a few things? Didn't you say that Chris was doing this to your friend? Giselle, didn't you lie and say that Chris Bassett had did this to Ashley's friend? So I thought we were supposed to lie out here. And that would have shut them up, because they wouldn't be able to say anything, because they have done some things. What bothers me about Giselle, like, granted, like I said before, Stacy and the Lion is messed up. But the fact that y'all are getting on Stacy about the lies she's told, but it's going to seek months to word about the lies you have told. You have come on here plenty of times to say, oh, I was just lying, or I was adding some sauce to it, meaning that you were lying. But we're going to pin Stacy to the wall about the lies that she has told. They bring Karen out. And I just thought it was very funny, the fact that Karen filmed one episode where she did not take any accountabilities for the actions of her actions, and she is sitting next to Andy, and Giselle is not. I think Giselle, I'm gonna hold that to later. I think it's laughable that Karen is calling Stacy out on her lies, and she can't take these lies. I was like, you can't take lies now because it's coming from Stacy? Okay, let's peel this back. Karen, she don't like lies. Okay, I understand that you don't like lies. But Giselle has lied numerous of times on this show. Ashley has lied numerous of times on this show. I believe Karen has lied numerous of times on this show. But when it comes to Stacey, that's where we draw the line. Stacey, you're lying, so therefore we can't take this. Karen, she has still denying that she has an alcohol problem. I personally, the way she is wording things makes me feel that she has a problem with alcohol, because she's using these words to, like, she's saying it. I have a lifetime of I'm in lifetime of recovery. Yeah, I know when she did her sit down with Andy, she was blaming it more on the prescription medication than it was the alcohol, because if it's prescription medication, the doctor prescribed this for me, and I just happened to get hooked. With alcohol, that is her doing it alone. So she tried to play it off as that I was drinking, which I have no issue with. No, I have no problem with alcohol, but I was mixing it with pills, and the pills were prescribed to me, and that's where everything went left. Again, she's not taking accountability. And it's the fact that I think it was Kay, Ashley, and Giselle were saying, yes, that interview was really good. She did take responsibility for her actions. She did not, because she's still deflecting, and she's still putting on everything else but the alcohol. The alcohol was the use. Her drinking was the problem. Now, I think after she had that slip up to where she got drunk, I think, what was that, season 5 at Monique's lake house, when she was spreading all her business, saying how Ray's tax issue, she paid it and she want her money back. I think that's when Karen stopped drinking amongst the group. Now, I believe she was probably drinking before she met up with the ladies, and when she got home and on her spare time, but she wasn't going to do it in the group. Now, by her saying that she doesn't have a problem with alcohol, when she comes back and you see her with a drink, she can always say, oh, the alcohol wasn't the problem. It was the pills. But you yourself decided, I'm going to up my pill dosage. Now, they already sell the bottles on the pill bottles. Do not mix alcohol with this medication, because A, B, C, and D can happen. We asked her about Ashley's statement, how some random person came up her and told her that she was like the day drink. It's the fact that Ashley and Wendy almost had the exact same story, that somebody said Karen likes the day drink. And the fact that she was like, yep, that was true what Ashley said, but what Wendy didn't say was true, because who's talking to Wendy? See, this further puts on the fact that Karen don't see it for Wendy. She said that when Wendy first came on the scene, Wendy, she doesn't fit the aesthetic of Potomac. So what is the aesthetic of Potomac? Because you accepted Ashley, and Ashley was just basically a sugar baby who got married to her sugar daddy. We just gonna call a thing. But Wendy, who has 4 degrees, happy marriage, and all those things, she doesn't fit the aesthetic. And I think once the show was getting a lot of backlash because it was seeming very colorist, Karen kind of pulled back, but you could still see her slipping through with her statement she's making. Because how is it that Ashley can say, somebody told me that Karen was day drinking, and Wendy to say the same thing, but what Wendy's saying is not true, because who's talking to Wendy? I just don't get it at all. Now, Why did you appreciate everybody and not Wendy? Now, the thing is, Karen is mad that Wendy took Stacey's side. Karen was confronted because she was talking about Wendy to Stacey, and she didn't think Stacey was gonna go back to tell Wendy. Well, Stacey was like, you know what, Karen, since you want to hop out me, all big and bad, I'm gonna tell Wendy. Karen told me that you're not a girl's girl, that you wouldn't want to be my friend, A, B, C, and D. And Wendy believed in it because Karen has did some shady things towards her. Wendy was the only one last season that was giving Karen grace about being arrested because she decided to drink, drive, and add some pills into the situation and end up causing an accident. Wendy was the only one that was giving Karen grace. She was the only one that was defending Karen up, down, left, and right. But now she mad because Wendy decided to take Stacey's side. We just gonna... Karen has never liked Wendy. She tolerated Wendy for the show, but she has never liked Wendy. And that was proven on this episode. It was proven on other episodes where she was like, appreciating it. She even appreciated Candace, and she tried to get Candace up off the show because Candace told her to go to hell. Yeah, Karen, she was showing her true self this whole entire segment. Karen wants to be able to treat people any old type of way, and they just accept the treatment. And her getting joy out of Wendy's mama telling her to shut up. Like, of course, because you found joy in Wendy being berated by her mama. Like, even Giselle was like, well, dang, Karen. Because Karen was like, I was happy that your mama told you to shut up. When Giselle, who don't like anybody, was like, well, dang, Karen, that was, like, messed up. I was like, yeah, that was messed up because that's further proving that Karen does not like Wendy. Has never liked Wendy. She tried to play it a little bit during this episode that I'm looking out for you, Wendy. But let's not forget that Karen don't like Wendy at all. Because she doesn't, the aesthetics of the show. Like, Karen, like, I used to like Karen, but, like, the way she be acting towards certain people, I be side-eyeing, and just, ever since she, like, was, like, trying to go to HR for Candace. But, like, when Ashley and Giselle have done far worse things to people on this show, and you wanted to get Candace kicked off the show, that was some nasty work right there. I did not like that at all. Wendy getting arrested and how the ladies feel. Now, I may be just overthinking things, but it seemed like Angel got a little giddy about Wendy getting arrested because Wendy had been coming her for this whole entire season. So she was like, basically, that's what you get, girl, because you was over here talking about me, this, that, and the third. Now, Wendy tells what led up to the arrest. Now, I'm with Karen. Wendy was talking too much. Like, I would have been like, as advice for my counsel, I'm not going to say anything. But Wendy's like, she talked to her lawyer, and the things that she said on this show were already in court dockets. Which, I don't care if it was in court dockets, I'm not going to bring it up again. They bring up the aliases, and she was like, it was, those credit card things. A lot of the things that's been put out on social media, her lawyer was able to be like, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and that's been, like, corrected. And I'm assuming that means that, like, they threw those things out. As far as the aliases, it was because when she get packages in the mail, she don't want these people to know who her name is. So, therefore, she's going to put a different name on it. So, like, delivery people don't know, oh, Wendy Osefo lives at this house. I can tell everybody in the world this is where Wendy Osefo lives at. Yeah, I'm going to put a different name on these packages. And I was like, I can understand that. So, I do like how when they said that, they pinned over to Ashley because, Ashley made that statement that Wendy had multiple social security numbers, even though she was loud and wrong. It was multiple credit card numbers, and it was like, yeah, that was wrong as well. And which I hope that is. I do hope that is wrong, and a lot of these things got cut out. Now, if Wendy and Eddie did these things, that is messed up. And I hope if, the charges are cleared and they are free and they get to go home and don't have to face any, like, real jail time. I'm kind of hoping that for them. But, like, I know this is going to sound messed up, but, like, what they were alleged to have done could not have harmed somebody's life. I'm going to say that. Unlike Karen. Still wrong. Not defending it if they did that. Not saying that it was right that they did that. But I'm just saying, Karen was, it was almost Karen was like looking down on Wendy for like these alleged crimes. But like, Karen, we're not going to forget that you got behind the wheel of a car. You're not going to sit here and try to look down on me and judge me for what I've been, arrested for when you was out here drinking and driving. Your crime is like no better than mine. At least your crime could have took you and several people out. Wendy's crime was just hurting, big business. Wrong is wrong. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying, in the grand scheme of things, in my opinion, they're both wrong. But I think Karen's situation was a little bit worse. Now, we're going to talk about Giselle they had nothing. First of all, I'm going to say this. Why was Monique on longer than what she needed to go be on for? Because once Jassy up and left, I think Monique should have up and left. Because we had nothing from Monique this whole season. She came on there, tried to be shady with the ladies. But, like, her whole season was Stacey. Giselle's whole season was Stacey. Ashley's whole season was mainly Stacey and her, shaming and, what's the word I'm looking for? Bringing her family on here to embarrass them. Those were Ashley's two storylines this whole entire season. But Giselle, realizing that they have not talked about her much, decides, you know what? I'm going to say that I'm dating folks. And I'm going to say that I got some business out here because she was reading the writings on the wall. Because, what was it? Kate was like, Giselle didn't have no segment? And Giselle was like, oh, snap, I didn't. Let me talk about something so hopefully I can come back because, like, it's not looking too good. Like, people are getting tired of Giselle and Ashley. Now, they still have people who go up for them. Don't know why, but, everybody has an opinion. I'm not going to judge them on their opinion. But the way Andy was talking, and I think that Giselle and Ashley was realizing that, like, we need to do something because we've been just, like, coasting by for so long, and we don't want to leave this good check. Now, I do remember Ashley, kind of sort of bragging about, like, the money she got from Michael, which I do not believe Ashley got as much money as she would want us to believe that she got. Now, the fact that she was almost giddy about Wendy being arrested, I was like, don't celebrate somebody else's misfortune, because what is going to happen to that house that you live in that is under LLC if something were to happen to Michael in his business? I'm just saying. So, y'all, that was the gist. If I left anything out, by all means, leave a comment below. If you are new to my channel, welcome. Feel free to subscribe. It is free all day, every day, free $99. Make sure your notifications are on so when my beautiful face puts up a video, you can click on it, you can like it, you can share it with your people, and you can come over and be one of my peoples by clicking that icon above. This is Lady T signing off. Have a good one.